Namaskar. Welcome, everybody. Today, we are going to present on a topic. Actually, it is staying true to our inspired decisions. And the subtitle is The Power of Perseverance. I will be using the Mentimeter, and you can see on the screen the code and I will also put on the chat window what is the link so that you can participate. So I'll be asking you a few questions. Let's see, it will be a little bit interactive. Now, we all have moments of inspiration in our life. And they can come and go, and it is not always when we are expecting, and it depends on various factors. And those moments of inspiration, they give some light on our path. It's like I take a decision and I think, okay, this is what I'm going to do in my life. These moments of inspiration also help us to move in alignment with our innermost desires. So as the inspiration comes, we feel some strength, we feel some connection, and we feel this is what I need to do in my life. And I think that it happens with everybody. But it could be, it could not be. But I think even any human being will have those moments in their lives. So I will ask you a question. And the question is, have you ever experienced a moment of profound inspiration? And what did it feel like? So a little bit, you can write anything. It's open questions. I'll give a few moments so that we can get a few answers there just to start a conversation. Not sure, don't remember. Okay, just a moment. Yes, I felt like I had a full vision of a purpose. I also felt very heartfelt. Okay, yes, I felt like it was going to keep me going forever. And exhilarating. Not sure, don't remember. Okay, all right. So let's just start from where we are. And there is something on the chat also is telling samadhis before I knew what they were. Wonderful. All right, so here is a point that there comes those times that it appears that, okay, we have this vision, okay, that's how my life is going to be. That's how I'm going to move forward. And it seems that in that moment, maybe all problems are far and we have a lot of energy so that we can move ahead with determination. And we also think that maybe it's going to be like that forever. And I follow up with another question. So do you think that when you have those moments and you take decisions, so do you think decisions made during high emotional states are always positive? Why or why not? So I give a few moments for you to type your answers. You can also use the chat, those who are not familiar with the Mentimeter. Anyway, in the Mentimeter, I put the link again on the chat. If you just click on that link, you come to the page where you can answer. All right, so we have 3 answers. Okay, all right, so here, let's see the question. Decisions made during high emotion states. So here, we didn't specify that those were states of where we are very inspired. It could be that we are high on emotion, but maybe not exactly on the inspired side, maybe on even on the opposite side. So maybe depending on that the emotional state we are, then this answer here, no, because biased by emotion, not based on logic. Maybe we are missing the logic at that moment. And these emotional states could be not really those states of deep inspiration. Okay, so I can, as a human being, I can be affected by emotions. And sometimes I take decisions based on emotions, and then I repent. I think, oh, maybe that was not the right thing. But, there are also moments where I am very inspired, and not inspired in a way that emotion is taking over me, but I'm inspired that maybe I need to do something great in my life, or I need to do something important in my life, and then I take a decision on that direction. So we have to understand what state we are in at the moment we are taking decisions. In general, I would say that when we are inspired and very inspired, let's say as an example, I'm doing meditation and I reach a very deep state in my meditation. And then after that, I am inspired that, oh, I really should not waste time in my life doing nothing. I should do something great and things like that. Those moments, I will probably take a very good decision. But suppose I expecting something in my life and it doesn't happen, and I'm very disappointed and I'm very distressed mentally, and then I think, oh no, I'm going to give up this, and then that might not be the best decision. But if it's a moment of inspiration, then I would go for this answer here, yes, because you are aligned with your purpose. Means you go deep within and you get deep inspiration, and it aligns with the purpose of your inner self, and then you take a decision. That would be a good decision to do. And okay, now suppose I did go to a moment where I really felt a deeper inspiration, some light, some door that opened, and that some opportunity, something I can do, and I feel, yes, that's important. I can do that. That's good for me. That's good for humanity. And I take such a decision. Yes, let me dedicate my life to that. So that's one decision that we could say, okay, it's aligned with my deeper purpose in this life. It's not just about a material gain or something selfish. All right, so let's move on this. I also want to bring another point. Okay, we do have those moments of inspirations. We also do have those lows, moments that we are feeling down. And maybe we go down and we look at our life, and maybe we don't see anything in our life that really is inspiring or really is like great. And we think, okay, I have lived so many years and I still have so many years to live. And now I'm in this point of my life, and there is nothing really that important that I'm doing. And what am I using my time for? So in these moments of that one is feeling low, it can also be a catalyst for a change. Okay, I must change. I must look for something different. It can work in that way. It can also be that if I have high expectation on something and I don't achieve it, then I also can go in a moment of low, and maybe I can think, okay, I'm not good enough for that, and I leave that. So we always have to be watchful, careful in our very high moments and our very low moments. In the high moments, we have to understand what is the motivating force for that moment, because it could be that is not something permanent. It could be just something in the material world. Maybe I have a job in a company, I get a promotion, so I feel high. But if I really analyze it, I think, well, in the long run in my life, what is it going to bring me? Because maybe, okay, I got a promotion and I feel high and I think, oh, I'm going to do everything to be very successful in this job. But then if I think, well, what is it going to bring me in the future? Or how much is that related to the real goal of life? So we have to look that high moment, what is causing it and where it can take me. And in the low moment also, if it is just I'm disappointed and giving up, or I reach that low because I realize that I'm not moving towards my real goal. So we always have to keep the idea of what is the goal of life. And that's something we study or we discuss here at PLT very regularly. What is the goal of life? And I did participate in a short discussion one day on Facebook that one person that I have taught meditation long ago shared this question. So what is the goal of life? And he got a lot of replies, and many of the people were telling that, oh, you don't need to think about that, or it's not important to know the goal, you just have to live. And I answered that, yes, it's very important to think about that and to know it, but there was not much engagement on my answer. Most people seem not to think about it. Some don't want to think about it, and some maybe don't want to start on a discussion about it. But to analyze highs and lows in our life, we have to take in consideration what's the goal. Am I moving towards the goal or not? So now I will put you a question. How do you deal with those moments where you're feeling really down and you don't know what's happening, and how do you deal with that? So take a moment to write it. Okay, waiting for some answers. Take your time. Okay, go for a walk. Great. Play kirtan. This really, really helps. Environment around me just change. I give myself space and acceptance. I often turn to meditation, nature, and helping others. And meditate. Okay. Wait patiently, check the moon phase, and meditation. All right, so let's look at the answers here. Going for a walk is always nice. The body gets engaged, the mind, and it's very therapeutic to go for a walk. Play kirtan is very nice. It's really great. I do think that kirtan helps a lot. And I also do that sometimes. I have kirtan recordings I usually, in those moments, I like live kirtan recordings. And I put them and it goes on and on. And then I give myself space and acceptance. I often turn to meditation, nature, and helping others. Yes, good. Actually, in one of the discourses, our teacher, our guru, he said that if you feel your meditation is not very deep, the solution is to do some service to others, to help others. And that will help to clear the mind, and the meditation will become deeper. Okay, again, meditate. Wait patiently, check the moon phase. Okay, the moon has a lot of effect on our mind. And when it's close to the full moon and new moon, we say, okay, practice fasting. And that helps to stabilize the mind, because the moon attracts the liquids, and the liquids can stimulate the mind, and emotions can happen. So if we can wait a little bit, the moon changes, mind also changes. The ideation of the mantra helps a lot. Yes. Okay, so meditation is always a tool that we have. The mantras are always helpful. Okay, another one. I know I should find someone to talk to, but I often just go into myself. It's not the best way to cope. All right. Okay, so here I would say good company, having somebody you can express is good. And if you don't manage to do that, if you want to go into yourself, then use these tools that we mentioned, the kirtan, taking a walk, or meditating. All these. And even, the yoga exercise, the asanas, that is also very helpful. And I have here on the chat how the moon phase impacts our mind. And I'm not aware on the same. Would love to have a session on this. Okay, I will briefly say about it, but maybe it could be a topic for a future video or a class. What happens is like this. The moon, depending on the phase, it comes closer to the earth or a little bit further. It's not a big difference, but when it is closer, what happens is it attracts more the liquids. Even the tides go higher in the sea. Okay, so our body is mostly liquids. Now imagine or think that one day you eat a lot in the evening. So if you eat a lot, your body will be full of food, and in the process of digestion, there is a lot of liquids. If you go to sleep immediately and you don't give enough time for your body to do all the process of digestion and everything, you will notice that you will dream a lot. And those dreams may be not so nice dreams. You will not be able to sleep properly. So these liquids can come up and disturb the way the mind is. So if one fasts what we do is like this. We don't fast on the day of the moon, which is the full moon or new moon. What do? We fast 3 days before, is what we call Ekadashi. So why do we fast 3 days before? Because you see the effect of the moon is growing, growing, growing. And on the new moon or on the full moon, it will reach the top. So you don't wait until it comes to the maximum. You fast a few days before, so you cut that effect. And you know, even in literature or in the movies and everything, there is a lot about that. For example, the man that becomes a wolf on the full moon. Okay, so actually, what is that? It's that on the full moon, the person becomes so disturbed that becomes a little bit like an animal, it cannot control oneself. So this gave rise to all these myths. It's not that the person really transforms completely like we see in the movies, but mentally. Okay. So that's a little bit about the effect of the moon. So that's the importance of fasting. And if somebody can fast, like we fast dry, means we don't eat, we don't drink anything for 1 day. All right. And then the next day we break the fast. But suppose somebody is not in good health or is not used to fasting, then what can the person do? Let's say eat a breakfast, then lunch, and then miss the dinner. Skip the dinner so that one can sleep a little bit lighter. Or just drink juices or fruits or soups. Go a little bit lighter on that day, and that will help to keep the mind under control. Okay, so let's move forward here. Inspiration. All right, so let's talk about inspiration. So that was that day that by different circumstances, maybe my experience on that day, or I talked to somebody, or I read a book, or I had a deeper meditation, and now I feel very inspired. But maybe the next day that inspiration went. So inspiration can go very high and then it goes. So it comes, it goes. And but moments of inspiration are important because those moments can give us a light how life can be and what can I do in my life. So it's good to take or to use those moments, to record them, so that you can remember them. The mind forgets things very easily. So sometimes it's good to make notes. Oh, okay, on such a day, I felt like this is what I should do in my life, or this is how I can use these years or this free time that I have. So we have to keep in mind that we will not always be inspired, but I can use those moments of inspiration and I can remember them and record them. So, a question to you. Do you share that? Can you recall a time when you were extremely motivated, but then later you found that it was hard to sustain that enthusiasm? And can you figure out what caused that shift? So I give you some moments to think about it and to, okay, yes. Yeah, I was checking the chat if something is there. This one seems to require more thinking. Okay, we are getting the answers now. All right. Lack of movement caused the shift. Act upon the inspiration when it occurs. Yes, I was too focused on the outcome, on the results. Also, I was attached to the effort of others. And that happens, not sure what caused it. Okay. All right, so let's think about it. Okay, first, inspiration. Our life is a movement. We're always moving. Either we move physically, we move also mentally. So our mind is always moving. So now mind either moves in one direction or moves another direction. Either it moves towards, like say, we are very inspired and we are getting more inspired, or it moves in the other direction. So there is always movement. So in this is a good point here, that there was lack of movement. Means one was inspired and didn't act upon the inspiration, and that inspiration went away. The next reply here, yes, I was too focused on the outcome, on the results. Also, I was attached to the efforts of others. All right, so let's look at this. Today, in the society, people are always looking at the results. And people want immediately results. That happens with meditation also. Let's say somebody learns meditation and maybe practice for a few days, and if doesn't get any enlightenment, then the person will think, oh no, this meditation doesn't help me, it's not working. But you know, if we're analyzing life, everything moves slow. We grow. Let's say we are kids, and then we are growing up. That growth is slow. And the child doesn't notice the growth, but the people around, they see, okay. And when there is a gap of time, then one sees, yes, there was growth. But because we are always there, let's say, if you are always in that body and the body is growing, you don't really notice it's growing. But if you can distance yourself and then come again, then you notice there was a difference. So it is this attachment to the results sometimes make us get disappointed. And that happens even in anything in life. I know people, for example, they always asking, Dada, so what should I feel during meditation? I say, you don't really have to feel anything in particular. You just meditate, and whatever you feel, that's fine. You don't have to be expecting that, oh, I will sit for meditation and I will feel great. But it could be that you sit for meditation and your mind is very restless. That's also okay. It doesn't mean you need to stop. Let's say you will think, oh, today I don't feel like meditating because my mind is so scattered. No, that's the day you really need to do it. You really need to face your mind. And that will be helpful. Okay, the next answer here was, that happens, not sure what caused it. Okay, that's a neutral one. I guess there are multiple, especially when I set a goal and achieve it. After that, I feel a weird emptiness. I guess this is because I was just working to achieve it, not sure about the reason. All right, so that's an interesting one. It happens mostly, I think, with maybe goals that are material. Let's say I think, oh, if I can get this job, or if I can buy this object, I will be really happy. But then we get it, and then we think that, oh, it didn't really make me that happy. What they do in marketing of different products today is like that. They say, if you buy this car or this SUV, you will, how to say, and then they film a person driving it, very happy, going up, down on the, how to say, off-beaten path, with beautiful waterfall, and everything is great. But when you get that, it doesn't happen in the same way. So you feel disappointed. Maybe you get a flat tire, maybe it stops working. So these transient goals, when we achieve, they don't really fulfill us. We discussed many times in our philosophy classes that the goal of human beings is actually something that is unlimited, that's infinite. So we can go on reaching to finite goals, and that will not satisfy us because we are looking for that infinite. And you look at people who are very rich, they may be billionaires, they are still not satisfied, they are looking for more, they want to get more. So we always want more, more, more. So achieving a goal that is not the final goal will not give us full satisfaction. Okay, the goal, the challenge, so large that I didn't know where to start. Okay, that's another thing. When we set the small goals in our life, because to reach something, you have to go step by step. Let's say you are down here and you have to go up there. You put a ladder, and in the ladder there are very small steps, and taking the small steps one can reach there. So when we set goals, we should also think in that way, that we don't put too high steps. Okay, here is another thing. Days before full moon, optimize Amrita to possibly flow down. Okay, that's a very let's say technical. This is all about the yoga practice. Okay, so the moon also affects the production of hormones. Certain anything that happens in the mind transmits to the body through hormones, and hormones, if we stimulate physically the production of certain hormones, it can also have influence in the mind. So there is a hormone that is connected to high states of mind, this Amrita, and certain days the gland is more prone to produce it. So that's why it is said that in those days, if we meditate, we may experience deeper states of mind. All right. Okay, so that was it. So now let's go into the role of perseverance. Okay, we were talking about inspiration, and we saw inspiration comes, inspiration goes. There are highs, there are lows, emotions. Then we think about the body. The moon is affecting our body, our mind. So in all this context, what we understand is that things don't move just like in a straight line. It's not like that I started developing myself and I just go continuously up, and every day I notice that I'm better than the previous day. No, it is all going up and going down according to so many factors, which can be physical factors, mental factors, factors of the environment. In yoga, if you go deeper into the study of it, you will notice that it takes in considerations various factors of the body, of the mind, and also of the environment and our relationship with others, our relationship with ourselves. There are very many factors there to deal with all these ups and downs and understand how our human structure works. So now let's look at the role of perseverance. So seeing that, okay, one day I'm feeling very good, very high, and I think that everything is right, and the next day I'm feeling down, and I'm feeling, oh, nothing is right. And then I change everything in my life. I will not do this, I will not do that, I will move this, that. But actually, we should see that, look, it's expected that it will go up and down. And if I want to achieve anything, I need to persevere. Suppose a simple thing, a physical goal. I want to have strong muscles. So I start exercising. Then I'm exercising and I'm feeling, oh, I'm getting a little bit result. But then one day I feel very weak and I said, oh, I'm doing all this to be in shape, to be strong. But today I feel so weak, or this is not working, and I give up. But in the physical, it's easy for us to understand that the body takes time, that we need to persevere. But sometimes in the mental, we don't think in the same way. We expect that the mind is more under our control, and we also expect that the mind will not go so much up and down. But that's not how it works. So here is where this role of perseverance is important. Okay. Let's, okay, before you answered, or while you are, let's go back here. I will tell one story that I heard once, and I like that story, and shows about perseverance, okay? This story, maybe some of you know, is two frogs were jumping, and they jumped and fell inside a huge container of milk, okay? So now they fell in, now they have to try to come out. So one frog tried to jump out a few times and couldn't make it. So in the mind of the frog, it came the idea that, oh, I'm not tired, I have my full strength, and I tried to jump out and I couldn't. That means I will never be able to jump out. So that frog gave up and eventually died. Now the other frog jumped, also couldn't go out, but that frog thought that as long as I'm alive, as long as I have some strength in me, I will try to come out from this. So in the process of jumping and jumping and jumping, it agitated so much the milk that, you know, a part of the milk became more solid. It butterized the milk, no? And then it had a little bit more solid ground and it jumped out. So what is the idea here is that you don't know what's going to happen once you start making the effort. Because the conditions may change from where you are at the moment, and you see and you feel, oh, there is no way I can do that. But when you take your first step, you don't know what changes in those conditions that may facilitate you to overcome that situation. So that's why this idea to persevere in the effort, not to give up, is very important. Spiritual life is like a marathon. It's not like a sprint that you quickly reach realization. It's not like that. It's something that one goes in the long term. So that's where the role of perseverance comes. So, and it can work in anything in life, even in attaining some material objectives or material goals or mental goals, perseverance helps. So here is, can you share an example from your life or someone you know where perseverance made a difference? Okay, I see already one answer there. So I give you a little bit time to give you a few moments to come with your answers. And you can always use the chat here. And if somebody really wants to speak, you can also speak. Okay, we have 2 answers now. All right, so let's look at what we have. The results of our practice. I think it's a good example. That's the Spanish one. Yes. Whatever practices we are doing, meditation, yoga exercises, even the diet, all these have effect in the long run. They don't, it's not like one day and there will be a big difference. The results come in the long run. Here another one should always have hope. Personally, achieving my education was one foot in front of the other. That's another thing, even in our life, in our education, we may think, oh, I will never be able to do, let's say, to finish my university. But you know, what is the difference between somebody who finishes and somebody who doesn't? It's just a matter of one continues and one stops. So one perseveres and goes ahead, the other one stops in the middle. So that's the main difference. Then my desire to enter a certain profession, which seemed impossible, finally happened through perseverance. Yes, I mean, in our life, professional life, also it happens in that way. Suppose I want to have a certain profession because I feel I can contribute more in that. It may not happen like that, but if I keep the target, I certainly reach there. Meditation itself, I think, meditation itself, yes, meditation, we don't get the final result of meditation by the first time we learn it and already we reach to the highest state. It doesn't happen. It builds up with time. And as usual, to have those ups and downs. Okay, broke my leg in July 2013. Physical therapy, gradual improvement made it possible for me to be hiking in the Himalayas less than 3 years later. That happens also. We see many, even documentaries or articles about people who had great physical challenges and maybe they were told, no, you can never do this again, or you finish for life, but they overcame that and did whatever they aimed to do. Yes, I saw my brother working on his writings without any expectations, and he drastically improved, and now everyone notices that the difference and change. Yes, even writing, we think that people will be born a writer and then they immediately will produce something spectacular. But no, it's by doing it, by practicing, that we achieve success. Okay, so we see, I know many examples. I see it every day. Most recently, I heard a story about an individual overcoming hardships and physical challenges to accomplish many wonderful things. True. And you know, the interesting thing is that even, okay, I think I have to reshare here just a moment, that even seeing all these situations, you know, we still have doubts sometimes. You know, we doubt that it will really work, but we see it all the time. You know. Okay, so let me share again. All right, there we go. Okay, so let me move to the next. I will give brief strategies how to nurture perseverance, because we can think that it's something natural, but it's like everything in life. We think, okay, that person is very patient, that person is not patient, but you can nurture it. You can improve it if you practice something. So how to practice, let's say, perseverance? I mentioned just a moment ago, document your inspired moments. Keep them, keep a record. When, what happened, how you became inspired. That helps, because if you can remember how you felt, you can recreate it, and it can inspire you to do something that will make you feel in that way again. The next is, we mentioned also in the process of the presentation, set small achievable goals. You know, if you have to reach up to here, and it's very high, but if you have steps, each step will bring you closer until you reach the goal. So if you have your final goal is there, but your immediate goal is smaller, is achievable, you can achieve it. Let's say maybe one is meditating regularly and is having difficulties, and one day meditates long, one day short, one day doesn't meditate. Then you can set a goal. Let's say, let me do a certain amount and make it every day. So now when you achieve that, it will be easier to go a little bit more. Or suppose somebody sleeps late every day, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then in the morning has a hard time to wake up to do meditation, is tired. And then let's say the person immediately, oh no, from now on, I will sleep 10 o'clock. But it's a big gap. So it might not be possible. So if you're sleeping 2 o'clock, maybe you go to 1, and maybe you make a limit midnight, maybe limit 11, maybe now you reach to 10 and you think that's good enough. And then you went slowly to your goal. So these are just easy techniques. So do you document your moments of inspiration? How do you do that? Or you have never done it? Or let's say dreams, special moments that you feel really inspired. Do you keep track? Okay, so let's see here. First one. Have never done it, but will surely do now. It sounds like a great idea. Yeah, experiment, see. Then one day you get back to it and you see, oh, wow, I was really inspired. And by reading it, maybe it recreates that moment. The inspiration comes back. Haven't done, okay. I have not, but feel inspired, motivated to start. Thank you, Dada. Okay. A good idea to start a journal. Great. Okay. All right. So that's number 2, more strategies. So those were 2 strategies. Another 3. One is to seek accountability. So one idea would be to find somebody who is the person who keeps you accountable. Maybe somebody you trust, so you can share. So seek some way that you become accountable, either by you yourself keeping writing or by finding somebody who can follow you to make you accountable. The other is celebrate small wins. You know, when you have a little bit success, enjoy it, celebrate it, feel good about it. Don't think, oh, that was just very little, I still have to continue. I mean, we need some happiness, some positivity, some celebration in life. And the third one, revisit and reflect. Yeah, whatever situations we have gone through and we persevered, we succeeded, we may have some lessons from it that we can apply in future situations. So here's another question, and that's based on the accountability. Do you have an accountability partner or a mentor? And how has that relationship influenced your journey? You know, somebody who can ask us how you are doing on that goal, or how you are, and and just sometimes just inspire us to keep moving. So that's another strategy, to have ways of accountability. So there is a question here, what do you mean by accountability? I mean like that. You set to do something. Suppose, I always use the examples of meditation, so don't mind, please. So let's say I set myself that I will do meditation every day twice. So I put that as a goal in my life, all right? So what would be the accountability? Maybe I keep a journal where I'm putting every day, I put, okay, I meditate once, I meditate twice. And a day that I missed, I don't mark that. Then I can review that in 30 days, maybe I succeeded 27 days. And I say, well, I'm doing okay. But maybe in 30 days, I succeeded only 15 days. Then oh, wow, I have to improve. So that's a way to keep myself accountable. But it could be also have a partner for accountability, somebody who checks on me. Hey, you decided to meditate twice a day, every day. Are you doing that? Then you can, oh, no, I'm not doing. So why you are not doing? Oh, I'm very busy. And then in that way, that person is keeping you accountable. So you share your goal with somebody that you trust, somebody who is going to either inspire you or hold you accountable for reaching that goal. So that would be the accountability partner. All right, so here we go. I have sometimes, and it has really helped keep me going. I do sometimes. Okay, so this is more common than the previous one of recording the moments of inspiration. Yes, it helps to stay on the path, helps us to get up from our lows. I can say it helps. So I see this, okay, here is rarely, and very helpful and takes me out of my comfort zone with a supported nature. Okay, so this one was more common amongst you than the recording the moments of inspiration. Okay, so these are just, you can, oh, here there is somebody saying Meditators Anonymous on the chat. Yeah, okay, yes, we should have like that. Okay, so a conclusion here. Yes, when we really feel inspired, they say, okay, I'm going to dedicate my life to this work. And it's something very important, very high. So moment of inspiration. And then comes the moment of low. Oh, no, I'm going to do something else. I cannot do this. I'll give up. There comes perseverance. It's very important to achieve long-term goals. In anything that's really meaningful in life is long-term. It's easy to start something, but it's difficult to maintain it in the long run. For example, one day, beginning of the year, I take the decision that from this year, I'm going to start meditating. And then you go find a place, learn meditation, start meditating. And then after some time, you think, oh, no, this is not giving me anything. And then you go to something else. But anything that is long-term needs perseverance. And you have to know that there will be ups and downs. Just think about your physical. One day you go to the gym, you have full energy, you are very powerful. And the next day you go there, you have no energy, you cannot lift anything. That's part of the going up and down in the physical level. That happens in the mental level also. Okay, we have some points here. 1-800-MEDITATE, yes. If you have any problems, just dial it, right? Okay, and AAA for your journey to Pure Land. All right, okay. So that was the presentation, and this is for the breakout room. I went a little bit over here. Let me see how we are doing.
Yeah, shall we just do one big group for a few minutes?
Yes, okay, so let's not do this. The breakout. Let's share this one. You can use the mic or you can type it. So after this presentation on perseverance, on inspiration, how do you see the relationship between inspiration and perseverance? You can use the mic if you feel more comfortable, or you can type there. Okay, or you can type and then talk, also both. We have a few moments for that.
Namaskar, Dada.
Oh, namaskar.
So, yeah, I guess this is correlated, or I could say friends. Why? Because means we should be inspired, and to be inspired, I guess we should have that perseverance, because when we continue, then we'll get that inspiration like automatically. I guess they are wired to each other.
Yeah, right. Okay. Okay,
It strikes me that if you're not inspired, you will not persevere.
Yeah. So that's the thing, which comes first, For example, let's go back to the example of meditation. You get results of meditation if you persevere. And you meditate because you are inspired. Now, what about you lose inspiration, then you don't persevere? No, sometimes it's like a cycle. So we have to maybe think like inspiration is the starting point. Perseverance is what is going to keep the inspiration alive, not letting it die. Even when it is almost dying, perseverance keeps it alive. Like if leadership say, okay, we need planetary leaders, we want to create a new world, but then we see that the world is the same and nothing is changing, and then we can say, okay, this is something impossible, this will never reach. But that's where perseverance comes, because we never know when the thing is going to happen. Like the example of the frog. The frog never thought that the thing will become more solid and it can come out, but it happened at a certain point unexpectedly. So in the same way, anything we are doing in life, and we are persevering, and let's say even for a job, we are thinking, okay, I would like to work in such field, and you are working on another one, but you are keeping your eyes there, and maybe one day you get an opportunity and somebody offers you, and then you are there. You don't know what's going to happen. All right, confirms the importance of being constant. Yeah, so it's the other thing about the perseverance is that, and also with other things in life, we shouldn't look at it as something that I have it or I don't have. Oh, I know that person has a lot of perseverance, but I don't have. We have to think that things can be developed. We can work hard to get something. Let's say one can swim 1 mile. So some person comes on the lake and sees somebody swim 1 mile, and the person will look and say, wow, you did that the whole mile. Yes. Oh, I cannot do that. It's not I cannot do that. It's I have not practiced to do that. If I take it as a goal, if I practice, I can do that. Of course, there are some things we cannot do, but usually the important things we can do. What is really important for our life, we can do. Because if we really feel something is very important for our life, I'm sure that we are also equipped to do it. It's like you always have what you need. You may not have what you want. There is this famous song, you don't get what you want, you get what you need. So we always have enough for what we need, but we may not have enough, or we will never have enough if it's only want. Good. So, okay, let's go this. I see a clear connection. All right. We talk about that one. Confirms the importance of being constant. Okay. I need an inspiration in order to begin, and I need occasional reminders of that inspiration to persevere. That's why I keep a record, and and also make it accountable, so you have somebody to help you in the low moments. Okay, so that was our discussion. Still, okay. All right. Bhavana wrote that. Yes, okay. Okay, Satya wrote, transcendental knowledge gestalts in the frog beliefs of life. Okay. All right, so that was what I wanted to share with you today. Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments, anything you want further bring up?
I guess this was the session we needed.
Okay, good.